Terrible.
All right, let's do some of this show. Let's shall we?
Oh, right.
Enough of our social hour together. Hello, Daddy. His royal hot sauce. I have a question to quote the great. God, they cannot just ask a question. It's about the asshole. Why do sometimes when I take the biggest, hardest, proudest shits, a bout of brown rain follows? My butt will be churning like the high seas. They have to come
Metaphors.
with full poetry
So
and metaphor.
colorful.
Yeah, after a mammoth turd. It doesn't happen with every big fat log, but it happens once every 9 weeks. Exactly 9 weeks, huh? That's if I don't catch the nasty butt bug. What the fuck is he talking about?
Diarrhea.
I guess so. Okay, touch my camera through the fence. So why does the liquid follow the... This is actually probably constipation.
Sorry, liquid brown? Or I thought he was talking about pee after you shit.
No, he's hot brown rain follows.
Brown rain after making a big
So
log.
what happens after when people are sort of constipated, behind it is some liquidity. That happens.
Why? Yeah.
It just sort of... It just happens.
One of the great mysteries of life.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's. Let's talk more about brown. Let's keep going.
No, you're right, because my little one will get like little pebbles, constipation, and then after it is like kind of liquid rain.
Yeah. It's just
interesting.
If you can get them on a more regular schedule, then all of it will sort of be more consistent. You know what I'm saying?
Fiber.
Fiber and regular evacuations and things.
Evacuations.
Yeah. See, we've had, since you were last here, maybe you're here once in the meantime, but we've had huge conversations with Annie about this.
Oh, I know.
Gigantic conversations about brown and how you sit on the toilet.
He doesn't drink water. You've heard that.
He does his thing, man. That's his deal. We also went to a strip club here with him and Susan.
I know.
Did you hear
I heard. I think all of Austin heard
the Red
news.
Rose. The Red Rose.
The Red Rose.
That was quite a night.
Big fans of the Red Rose.
Yeah.
This Studio James is a big fan of that place. We know a lot of the ladies who work there.
Well, Bert
was
supposed to join me last night at the cigar shop next door.
Oh, yeah?
And he disappeared.
What do you mean he disappeared?
He goes, I'll call you. We'll go do this. And then he just vanished.
Bert.
Several weeks ago, I was on my way to the store exhausted after a graveyard shift. While I was driving, I had a sudden urge to poop.
No.
While holding it in, I felt tingling in my penis and then had a full-on orgasm.
Ugh. You're disgusting,
Why?
man.
Come on now. This guy's magical. On my way back home, the urge to poop went away, but then came back again. Then I had 3 or 4 more sudden orgasms. Wow. The more I held it in, I was horrified. I almost crapped my pants. Never happened before. Could it be a sign of something wrong with my prostate? Yeah. So no, but it is a sign that you probably would like prostate stimulation, because all that back there is pushing against the prostate. The fact that he can have 4 orgasms just from not shitting. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Thank you for sharing.
Hey, Chomo. Fernando, long time, 26-year-old Hispanic male from Michigan. Brown question. Mm-hmm. Is it possible what you smell can be transferred to your farts or shit? I remember an older Joe Rogan podcast where he said on a bear hunt, he was explaining that cutting open a bear's stomach releases a very putrid smell. Yes. Once while doing this, the hunter's little sister was present but did not eat any of the bear. A few days later, she was kicked out of her classroom because her farts were so bad.
Oh, that correlates. That there's no causal.
No, I don't think
tough.
so. Well, recently on Sickler's podcast, he was interviewing a man who cleaned up after dead bodies and mentioned how would smell decomposing bodies in a shift. Next day, no. So what happens with that's just not a causational link with the girl in the classroom. The smelling putrefaction the next day, that shit gets in your nose.
Yep.
Yeah, I had once.
The molecules stick in your
nose.
They do.
I had a guy with an empyema of the lung. It's his lung filled with pus, and we drained it, and the smell that came out of it was worse. It was not like even a dead body. It was like, I can't describe it. Smelled it for a week afterwards.
Because that's literally the molecules in your nose.
In my nasal passage, yes. I have to poop, and instead I jerk off and hold it in. My calculation, is it possible to press? Yes, we talked about the prostate.
You guys with the brown and the white. Today's like brown and white together.
It's celebrating your return.
Oh,
it's all for you. It's
all for you. Yeah. All for you. So, but I didn't know that brown and white could be so intimately linked in a man's body.
This is a pretty high. They are usually not. That's a pretty dramatic incidence. 21-year-old men, stay hydrated, eat normal. A college student, but I find two things weird. My yellow often smells like popcorn. Popcorn Jason.
No.
That's interesting. Also, I struggle to brown in the morning until I eat solid food, sometimes even waiting until lunch to have a good dump. What the fuck? Keep feathering, keep behind tight, blah, blah, blah.
I love the phrasing. What the fuck? I gotta wait until lunch to take a dump. What the fuck?
So there's something called
upset.
the gastrocolic reflex. When you put something warm in your stomach, it stimulates the distal part of the colon to bring shit down into the rectum and give you that urge to go. Gastrocolic reflex.
Nice.
And if you don't respond to it, it passes.
Yeah.
And stuff gets compacted in there, but you sort of the asshole is not an exact. It's not like a skeletal muscle where you want to pick something up and you do so.
Yeah.
No, it's a little bit of an inexact science. Adam has a very funny story about this. He used to, Jesus Christ, he and his buddies, well, this one buddy, they used to break into the Mulholland Club pool at night, these North Hollywood maniacs, 18-year-olds, and they would go use the jacuzzi, and one of them discovered that if he pushed his asshole up against the jacuzzi jet, he could fill himself up really nicely.
Yes, that's,
And then he would share that with the other people that were in the jacuzzi. He'd walk around and unload.
I swear I must have known the same group of kids in the valley. There's a kid that did the same thing.
Ray?
And like
Did you
enema
know
with
Ray?
himself
Yes.
on the side of the fucking pool.
Right. And then, but then he would unload it on the women he was trying to impress who were sitting in the jacuzzi right on their head. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the one I knew.
And so one time they decided to share this with the world. So they went through a Jack in the Box drive-through, and the guy opens the window and Ray put his ass up against.
No way.
But because of the inexact science, it didn't come right away. It took a minute before it was produced. And then Adam said the guy at the window just slowly kind of pushed the window closed. Like, what could it hurt to close the window? This guy's asshole's looking at me. I don't know what's going on, but I think I'll close the window.
Smart move.
And then he produced. Yeah. I thought that one would make you high.
You like that. Yeah, you can't predict what your asshole's going to do.
Well, and he thinks he can. He thinks he's master of the asshole.
Well, you know, my mother always had good wisdom. She's like, when you feel like you have to shit, go sit down and shit.
Yes.
Because you're right. You have
That's old school stuff.
Yeah, you have a
old
window. You do have a shit window.
Yeah.
And if you ignore that window, you're just in for problems. Like Tom ignores his windows.
Well, I used to too, and now I've got diverticulitis, and it stirs that all up if I don't pay attention. So I got to pay attention. Yeah. That's why out in the desert it was quite a thing. And by the way, and by the way,
shit in special ops?
we were special ops. So we had one shower, shit just stuff dribbling out, and it was just a sort of a booth. And then the toilets were booths. They were and pie tins essentially. And Dwight Howard, who's 6'9", is looking down on Kate Gosling as she changes her tampon or whatever, and just going, Dwight, sorry, it's special ops, man. Give me a voice message just so we can run the cycle here.
Run the cycle. When I come, I shit.
Oh, yeah, of
and then
course.
I piss on my shit. Is that normal?
Dear Christina.
Hey, Dr. Drew and the Booth Boys. This is DJ calling from Cali. Calling because sometimes when I eat spicy foods
There we go.
or
I
feel
come
like I have
hard.
too much bread, I start blowing butt boogers.
Blowing butt boogers?
What I mean by the butt boogers is there's just like not a lot of actual poop, just a lot of gas and a lot of mucus.
Okay.
And it feels like just like fucking snot's coming out of my asshole. So
Well, that's
you could
essentially what's
explain
happening.
That, Dr. Drew?
Okay, that is what
Is that
it's.
mucus?
Help me figure out how to not
Don't
sneeze
eat the
out my
damn.
ass.
All right.
That'd be great.
It's anal mucus, right?
It's mucus. Don't eat the spicy foods that irritate your anus, your rectum, and give you the mucus, which is an inflammatory thing. So, like, when your nose runs, that's because it's inflamed and shit comes out.
But okay, granted, yes, that's a good thing. But what if one day you're like, I gotta have that penne curry. I gotta have
well,
it.
go ahead,
So what
then-
can you do Is there something you can take preemptively?
It's not a bad idea. You could try. It may not help, but you can try some Gaviscon ahead of time.
Gaviscon.
And then some psyllium husk, maybe after. Some Metamucil, essentially.
But won't that make you gassier? That stuff makes me fart hard.
Sometimes they go that way. But the calcium carbonate sort of helps.
Can I ask you?
Yeah,
How come
please.
sometimes
Please ask me.
sometimes when I have to brown and the brown won't come down, but the mucus will come out. Am I just pushing too hard and
Probably.
the brown's not ready? And
The
I'm
brown's
just
not ready. but the but the mucus kind of needs to come out too, so it's okay that you.
Oh,
got
it
that.
does. Does
Not
it?
everybody produces mucus, by the way. You're very
so
talented.
lucky.
So happy to hear you
Really?
do. Yeah.
Not everybody produces anal mucus.
Not everybody.
Is that the next shirt we're gonna make? Do you produce anal mucus? Do you produce anal mucus?
I don't. But
Wow. Do you know
we
if
need some sort of
Susan does?
cup with you and your anal mucus. Another thing. Speaking of women and anuses, we've noticed something since you were last here. Also,
Sure.
that women have a very special way of saying the word butthole.
My butthole.
They don't pronounce the T. It's
Butthole.
Butthole.
Butthole. Or butthole. That's so true.
You got a female lined up for me? I'm sure she'll have some butthole comment for us.
Butthole.
And by the way, the women voice messages are
They're
they're the best.
They're exceptional. If you're a woman and you're into Studio Jeans, you're an exceptional female. You really are.
Maybe that's what it is.
You're
yeah.
exceptional because
I
the
tell
women,
you, when I first was on your show,
They're the
a woman
best.
tackled me at a MTV Video Movie Awards, and I was like, "Whoa, this is who's listening, huh?"
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
they're the coolest motherfuckers. Like
Yeah.
there's no squares that listen.
And
They're rad.
They have a weird preoccupation with the four of us, you, me, Tom, and Susan. They're like, "No, what is on with your relationships? How do you guys get? What you go to dinner? What?" I'm like,
Oh, meaning like how we socialize or how
they
we
don't.
maintain
They can't
our.
figure out these relationships. They just can't figure them out because
very basic.
Susan and Tom kind of invented me being here. The two of them talking, and then you and I are here, and we all kind of socialize. It's
Yeah.
I guess it's odd for people. I don't know.
I don't know
But they can't.
either.
But it's all. They can't. They only see this part of it.
Yeah.
So they want to know what more is going on. I guess.
That's funny.
Isn't that
I
interesting?
think that's interesting. I like it when you guys come over and you guys kind of get to laugh at me and my horrible children. And,
It's not your children are amazing.
no, they're amazing. I mean, horribly behaved because it's always when there's company
Are you
and you're
fucking
like,
kidding me? We had triplets. Are you kidding me? Here's how our kids behave. We set up corrals and put mats down and threw them in. That was our parenting for when they were your kids' age. So no.
God.
It's you expect some of that.
Yeah.
So got a female for me?
butthole.
Hi, Dr. Mommy. I'm just calling to see if I could get some advice from you. It's kind of about anal after 50. So I just got married recently,
Anal after 50.
and I would like to try to play around with my husband anally, and he has expressed interest in it, but I think he's just nervous.
I want to fuck with
The sensation we have tried a couple times
fuck
with
you in your
a
ass.
finger or just like tongue, but he just seems a little bit like scared or hesitant. So my, I guess, question is, what is some things that I can do to help him maybe feel more comfortable, or
I like
something
there's a
that
question mark around
maybe
every
your
statement.
wife did to you
Comfortable.
that like was pleasing? I don't know. I would just love some
Yeah.
advice.
May I say?
And of course,
Oh, sorry.
got to keep it 100% with the communication line. So thank you. I love your show. Piss on me, beat me.
Piss
Home
on me,
and now.
beat me.
Bye.
There you
Home
go. Come in
here.
my mouth? What's that one?
No, home here now.
Oh,
right?
home here
Piss
now.
on me, beat
Oh,
me.
okay.
Home here now.
Home here now.
Yeah, that's a
Good
female
classics.
thing to do the like the not make a statement. I learned that very early listening to male comics and listening to Margaret Thatcher in her biography. She actually lowered the register of her voice so as not to agitate the men in Parliament.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a thing.
As opposed, so it feels like she's sort of apologizing for each of her statements.
Right. It's very
It's apologetic.
hesitant and reticent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to be more declarative in your statements.
And sort of actually, rather than going up at the end, it's actually better to go down at the end. Like
Absolutely.
I want him to fuck me in the ass.
Yes, and when I transition to a man and that tea gets cooking in my voice
You won't
too,
even, you'll automatically do that.
everything I say will be a demand. Like, you're going to suck this dick. The world is going to suck my mom dick. I can't wait to be powerful. I'll forget this female tentativeness. So how can she make
All right,
her man?
the bottom line is encourage him. Let him know that. Don't apologize. Let him know there's really something you really, really, really want to do. He'll be good. They always advise putting something in first. Maybe not just a finger, but maybe anal plugs, maybe a dildo, so small stuff in first. Lots of lube. If he's really uncomfortable, maybe a condom, and off you go. You're not into it, huh?
It's so horrifying. I think I have too many gay man friends, and I've heard enough stories over the years of just dudes shitting on each other, and you know what? I think caca is so messy. I prefer vagina plays.
Well, I do too, but you can take an enema beforehand, little
that
fleece
sounds
or
fun.
something.
Yeah,
you
just
can do it.
put water.
I mean, she wants it for some reason. It may be because he's pushing. You can never tell. Is it because she wants? Because the guy's like, let's do this, and she wants to make him happy, or is it something she wants to do? I don't know. But either way, enema, objects, smaller objects, lots of lube. Condoms maybe if he's uncomfortable.
And mucus too.
And
really
the mucus,
get into that.
Mucus though is good. Like helps, right?
It's nature's lubricant for butt sex.
So
Isn't that what the mucus is for?
butthole.
Butthole.